Yeah, and as we kept mentioning throughout the morning, the rain's not stopping, but the waters are continuing to flow across the city. So be careful. Even if it does look like it's slow moving, it can really quickly change in a matter of a second. So turn around and don't drown is the message. We continue to urge people. And as you can see right now, there are several people in this fast moving water. So this is a very dangerous situation for everyone, including the dive team, but they are well equipped at this point with several crews all around this area, including on this end and on the opposite direction of the highway. So now, again, if you're towards 151 and Penn Road, head another direction because the traffic over here is coming to a halt because of this situation. No, at this point, we don't know that, but we just saw lightning. I don't know if you can see it back there, but there is lightning at this point. Earlier, the lightning had stopped, but that, of course, causes more problems. And at this point, we don't know if the electricity in this area has been cut down, but there's a lot of vehicles here. Now there's people trying to watch what's happening, but of course, if you're in this area, try to avoid it because you don't want to be caught up in a dangerous situation like this gentleman. But take a look, you can see the water team already getting closer and closer to this gentleman. He seems to be okay, but again, we're taking into consideration all the factors and all the elements that are taking place here. We're looking at the rain, we're looking at moving water, we're looking at the electricity all around us, but we're also taking a look at a very strong team of people here trying to rescue this gentleman at this point. Oh yeah. Yeah, there yeah. Yes. David and Ursula, right now we're actually we're looking at them bringing more tools into this. They're bringing an extension to that ladder at this point, but we're also taking a look at the speed limit in this area too. This area here is 15 miles per hour. This gentleman was probably going way below that, but because of the moving water, he was moved to the side and to that railing that is holding, just that simple railing is holding his vehicle and is holding him to safe grounds right now. But as you can take a look, the water rescue team, they're bringing up that ladder and they're pushing it towards the gentleman to try to get a little bit closer because their ladder right now does not reach the full extent to the vehicle at this point. But we are seeing a lot of debris coming from the water, from the sides, all the debris from the trees, from the floor, pieces of trash all around. They're all playing into the scene right now. So we're dealing with a lot of different elements at this point. Yes, and we're looking about 3 to 4 people at the end, at the tip of the ladder, holding that extension ladder, trying to get to this gentleman. So these gentlemen, we recently went out with the New Braunfels Fire Department with their dive team, and we know the type of training that these gentlemen go through in order to do a situation like this one. They're also wearing all this type of gear that helps them. So anyone that sees something similar, don't attempt to try to rescue anyone, but contact EMS or the fire department just like this. But as you can see, they've already gotten in communication with the gentleman. They're reaching out to him. But there's about 15 people on both ends of this moving water, of the dive team, trying to coordinate all this effort and trying to get to this gentleman at the end. And of course, as we mentioned, he was just driving. The water was not this high and was not this fast at one point, but we saw him halt because I guess the car wouldn't move to a certain point, and that's when we had to call the EMS over and pointed that direction, and they quickly sprung into action. At one point we only saw 2 vehicles here. Now we're looking at about 15 vehicles all around this area, and everyone's putting all their effort and using all their resources, including the city of San Antonio, putting up barricades in this area on Penn Road and off 151. But take a look as they're still communicating with this gentleman, and of course the rescue team is here as well. We're talking about more than 10 minutes at this point. Earlier, as we mentioned, we've drove by this area, and our photojournalist Jason Foster, he mentioned this is Penn Road. Seems to be one of the areas in San Antonio around the county that seems to continuing to get flooded. And he mentioned, let's drive past the area again. That's when we headed this direction, and he was just driving towards the highway, and in just seconds the car got pushed to the side, and everything just moved quickly after that. He jumped into action as well, and he went on top of the roof. But at one point, the EMS vehicle was heading towards this direction, but they really weren't sure if this is a vehicle that was stranded at one point. So we pointed this direction. They all quickly moved into action. The fire departments, they brought more vehicles here.